Thanks for joining us on the Ticket Broker Introductory webinar. In this video, we're going to show you the basics of how to make money online with ticket resale, how it works, and how you can make money flipping tickets online from home. So let's jump right in and kind of get started. So what exactly is ticket brokering? So ticket brokers make money by buying tickets for events that will sell out or almost sell out. Once those events do sell out, they're easily resold online for a higher price than what you paid, and you make money on that margin. So that's basically it. The trick to it is finding events that will sell out and having an eye for finding events that are underpriced and that people are willing to pay more for, and being able to buy a lot of those tickets quickly and sell them easily. So that's kind of the basics of how ticket brokering works. So the breakdown is that there are primary and secondary marketplaces. So you always want to be buying from primary marketplaces. This means that it is coming directly from the venue, team, or artist, and you will almost rarely be buying from the resale market, which is other brokers selling tickets or fans reselling tickets. So usually if you're buying from the resale market, that means that those tickets have already been purchased once, but someone is selling them for a really cheap price because they can't go to a concert. Sometimes it's a good idea to buy those tickets as well, but majority of the time we're going to be buying from the primary, such as Ticketmaster, Live Nation, Access, Ticketfly, and Eventbrite, and also a few other primary places. The main primary sites are, of course, Ticketmaster, and the main secondary sites are StubHub, Vivid Seats. Those are the two biggest ones. And then, of course, these ones, Viagogo, SeatGeek, TickPick, are also secondary markets as well. So that's kind of the breakdown. It's really important to understand this, primary versus secondary. So let's keep moving forward. So how exactly do you find these sellout events? So finding events that will sell out is a really important part of the business. It's probably one of the most important parts of the business, and this is how you can find events. So there are a lot of different ways to go about it. There's different ways to get tickets, to know what's going to be hot, but these are kind of some of the basic points that you should consider. And if you follow all of these, or a majority of these, you should be able to find pretty good tickets. So what has the most buzz on social media? I know this seems like a very basic one, but what is everyone talking about? What have you seen in the news, on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, across the web? What have you seen the most of? That means that there's probably a lot of ads being promoted by the artist or by the venue or by that event. So a lot of people know about it, and if a lot of people know about it, you know about it, that means it's going to sell pretty well. Furthermore, big cities and big populations sell out events the fastest. So New York, LA, Chicago, Seattle, Dallas, Miami, all these big cities are the ones that are going to be able to sell out events quicker. So buying in big cities is a really important one to also consider. Moving on to the third point is, what is the size of the place people are going to compared to the popularity of the artist? So this one can be a little bit more confusing, but what it means is, how big is the artist and how big is the venue? So there's a lot of venues where smaller artists, it's a general admission and it's 3,000 to 5,000 tickets available, and a smaller artist might not be able to sell that out. But if you have a big artist who, last year was able to sell out those smaller venues, is now performing in a small venue, then those are really, really good events to go after. So let's say, for example, the Rolling Stones or Billie Eilish was to go from performing at an arena to performing at a general admission venue with only 5,000 tickets. You would pretty much off the bat know that those are going to do really well because the venue is so small. So it's just going to have a huge amount of demand, and those ticket prices are going to shoot up really fast. Like I said in the third point, this says, is the artist performing in a larger or smaller venue compared to the previous event? So you can get information about that and realize, hey, is it performing in a larger or smaller event venue? So you get a good idea of whether or not you should be targeting after this event. A good way to get information about events going on sale is to go to Ticketmaster and subscribe to new event notifications. There are a lot of different ways to get that, and we can get into that a little more, but that's just one of the ways to get an idea about stuff going on sale and be able to catch those events. So furthermore, you can create an account for Next Big Sound. What this website does is show you how well an artist is doing on social media and across the web. So it tells you how hot an artist is doing, on Twitter based on the amount of hashtags, and it kind of gives you some good information about what events or what artists you want to go after. The last point is, how does the venue usually perform? So some venues tend to sell out almost every show. Boston House of Blues venues, a lot of the House of Blues venues, Terminal 5, 930 Club, a lot of these small clubs where it's really popular, they tend to sell out almost every show because people go there a lot. It's a busy place, and even if it's not the best show, it's going to sell out purely from being at that venue. So moving on, there's a lot more things that we can cover right here, so I'll kind of jump right in to the next list. So how popular is the artist currently? So check Billboard Top 100. That's also a basic one. Is the artist popular? And this also applies to a lot of sports and theater events, but we're going to focus mostly on concerts for this webinar. So the next thing to do is check Spotify followers and compare artists to each other based on the venue. So artists such as Drake, Eminem, Red Hot Chili Peppers, usually older, they tend to sell out these events because there's such a big existing fan base, and it's really important to kind of check the amount of Spotify followers and compare them between the different artists to get an idea of how many people want to hear that music. Like I said before, social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, those are the three big ones really that you want to look at. Does the artist have any new music out? New music usually means that people are interested in hearing it. The artist is going on tour. There's a lot of hype. The artist is probably doing a lot to push the new album, so it's likely to do better if the artist has new music. Of course, in the past, have you heard about sold out tours in the past? You can search on Twitter by hashtag sold out and kind of see what events are selling out. It's one really easy trick to do hashtag sold out on Twitter and see what events are selling out right now, and then you can go in and either remember to buy next time or kind of buy for different venues. So let's say someone said, hey, so and so sold out for my city. You can go in and see, hey, this artist is actually performing in like 4 other cities. Why don't I go in and see if I want to buy for some of these other cities as well? So in sports, there is of course there's combined tours. So when multiple artists perform together, it increases the chance of them doing well. So if Drake is performing with Eminem, Lil Wayne, so on and so forth, they combine their tours, it's more likely to sell out faster. And moving on, for sports, is this a rivalry gang, ranking influence of divisions, a team on a roll, team playing at home, so on and so forth? Those kind of things can make a big influence because a lot of fans are going to want to see what their team does in these really crucial games. So it's really important to kind of understand that market as well. So when it comes down to it, what you want to do is think like a buyer. So let's say you want to go to an event and you're a big fan. What would you want as a fan? Like, what tickets would you want? You want to get the best tickets you can get for the lowest price. So whenever you're buying tickets, you kind of want to think of it from the same exact standpoint. Hey, I'm a fan. I want to see this artist. I want the best tickets for the lowest price. And once you understand that, once you can understand what a fan would buy, then that'll help you make good decisions about what tickets you should buy to resell. So kind of the overall factors to consider, kind of simplified a little bit, is city population, wealth of the city, venue location, venue capacity, venue past performances, day of the week. Of course, weekends do better. Is it an event during a holiday? Because that can impact it sometimes, for better, sometimes for worse. If it's a holiday, it might take away from certain artists, but if it's like a Christmas play during Christmas, that's going to shoot up even harder. So just keep that in mind. 15th and 30th, those are paydays, so usually people buy tickets on those days. Just good to keep that in mind about when you want to buy tickets or when you want to sell them, because that's when people are more likely to buy more tickets. Okay, so let's say now you have bought some tickets. Now what do you do? So once you've bought tickets, usually from Ticketmaster, the best way to sell them is to sell your tickets through StubHub. Most resale you will probably do is through StubHub. As you sell more and more tickets, you'll probably be on other marketplaces such as Vivid Seats, very likely, SeatGeek, Game Time, TickPick, and others. So the way you usually sell tickets is by uploading your tickets. You explain, hey, I have this section, these seats for this date, for this event. You match it up with your event on Ticketmaster, and you enter in your price. And then you also say when you will deliver your tickets. If it is a PDF ticket, you say, hey, you upload the ticket right away and say, hey, this ticket is available to download right away. If it's a mobile transfer, you say, hey, this is a mobile transfer ticket. And what that means is when you get a sale, StubHub will notify you who bought your tickets. Then you must then transfer the tickets from Ticketmaster to the buyer's email address. So keep that in mind. And then once you send the tickets over, within 10 days or more or less, depending on the marketplace, you'll get paid through PayPal or a check, depending on what you choose. So that's kind of how that works. And let's kind of go into pricing your tickets to sell. So in order to price your tickets to sell, it's really important to stay on top of them. You don't always have to be monitoring them, every minute, but you want to check your prices at least once a day, 2 days at the latest, and kind of understand what your tickets are doing. So you want to track the market value of what other sellers are pricing. A really good rule of thumb is kind of look at what other brokers are pricing, but look at brokers with a lot of inventory. So you don't want to price based off of someone who has 2 tickets or 1 ticket and they're just trying to get rid of it, or they're panicking and they want to sell faster or sell high. You want to be kind of in the middle, pricing, to where you're making anywhere from, shoot between 30 to 50% profit. Of course, really based on the event. So some events you can buy for 50, you can sell for 150. Other events you can buy for 50 and sell for 70. So you want to have an idea of kind of like, how hot is this event and how much can I expect to make, and then price somewhere in that region. Don't try to be the lowest price ticket. Usually someone will always undercut you in a race to the bottom, to the lowest price. Everyone loses. All the brokers lose. The only people who win are the fans who are like, whoa, I got really cheap tickets, because all the tickets on the secondary are racing to the bottom. So don't do that. It's really easy to freak out and kind of start trying to lower your price, but 99% of the time only you lose money and everybody else will lose money. You just hold your prices, and if you buy good tickets, you'll do fine. So if your event date is coming up, of course you want to drop ticket prices. So let's say you have only about 2 weeks left or 11 days left till your event. You'll want to kind of drop your prices little by little. A rule of thumb is to try to sell 11 days before the event, because StubHub sends out an email to everyone 10 days before saying, hey, your tickets haven't sold yet. Do you want to change your pricing or make any changes to sell your tickets? So definitely not necessary to sell 11 days before, but it can be, it's easier to sell earlier. You probably won't make as much money, but if you sell 11 days before, you can have a little more confidence that your tickets will sell faster and you don't have to worry about them last minute. So pricing your tickets to sell continued. So if you bought good tickets, you will make a profit almost every time. Rarely do you lose money. Worst case scenario is pretty much you break even, or you have some issues where they add a second event and that can hurt the demand. So if you have an artist performing in New York one night and then he's sold out and then he adds one more night, then that can really hurt demand. And usually you'll have to break even on those tickets. But if you buy good tickets, rarely will you ever lose money. So of course another reason is bad weather. If it's a baseball game and it's storming and it's really bad weather, people aren't going to buy as many tickets, especially last minute. They're going to be like, and those tickets you expected to sell last minute, they won't sell anymore. So those are just kind of the things you want to avoid, but these things kind of rarely happen. So at Ticket Flipping, what we try to do is we select shows very carefully for our members to buy, so you don't have to really worry about those things. Our brokers have 8+ years in experience and $15 million in tickets inventory sold. So we have a really good understanding of the resale market, what will do well, what won't do well, and it pretty much just comes down to being able to actually buy a lot of tickets and pricing them. But in terms of, will my tickets resell, that's not so much the issue for our members. So kind of the general admission mindset. So keep in mind that changes in the value of ticket amounts change for general admission, and the prices go up and down. So when a general admission event goes on sale first, of course the demand is really high, and then the demand starts to go down after the first days. These are like the really big fans. They want to buy all the buy as many tickets as they can, and then the demand goes down. And then as the event date comes closer, the ticket supply goes down, and the ticket demand and ticket value really increases, because everybody who doesn't have a ticket yet is like, hey, these tickets are, they're selling out. There's a lot of my friends going, and I want to go, but the ticket supply is going down. So of course the demand and the value goes up. So you want to sell, somewhere in this section right here, and it'll give you, a lot of leeway in terms of how much money you can make because these tickets are going for more. So ticket value starts here, and then it just keeps going up as the supply goes down, and then demand increases. So keep that in mind. This is how it works for general admission, and now we'll cover seats. So demand for seats is highest at the initial sale of the event. So everyone who goes to a seated event, they want to have the best seats, so they're going to go and buy tickets as soon as they can, because this is when you can get the best seats, and this is when you want to buy them. So the dedicated fans immediately rush to buy their tickets. They want to get front row, and people looking for seats near the front row are doing so after the tickets go on sale. This is why it's important to buy on pre-sale for seated events and then sell your tickets quickly after buying them. So as soon as you buy on pre-sale over here, you want to actually go in and sell the tickets pretty quickly. So this graph isn't 100% accurate, but the value is somewhere like here. And then if you're able to buy tickets and sell them right away to someone who really wants those good seats, you can sell them for a lot more, throughout this whole graph if you get those really good seats. So getting good seats kind of keeps your ticket demand and ticket value really high because you have really good seats. So it's important to buy as soon as possible for seats. Whereas for GA, you don't really need to buy. You can even buy like here, and as you can see, the value is still kind of the same. So you can kind of wait for it, see how the event's selling, and then buy, and then sell here. For seats, you want to buy as soon as possible, and then sell them right away. So as you can see right here, this is how you sell the tickets. So how exactly do you buy the most profitable seat ticket, and how do you get access and cart the best seats? And I'll kind of explain what that means. So to get the best seats during the pre-sale and on-sale, you need to know everything you're dealing with. You need to be early. You need to have multiple browsers open and multiple devices, including a mobile phone if possible. So these will all come in handy if you kind of know what you're doing, and you'll be able to buy the best seats and make the most money. So what kind of events are there? There are verified fan events with a unique code. There are waiting room events, and then there are common pre-sale password events. So verified fan events, you may have heard of them, you may have not. What happens is in order to get access to buy tickets, Ticketmaster will send out an email saying, hey, this is an event going on sale. If you want to buy tickets, sign up for a verified fan. And you'll go in, you register your phone number. Hey, I want access to buy this and to buy these tickets. And then it's like a lottery system where, hey, if you get selected, they'll send you a unique code. And that code gets texted to you the morning of the pre-sale. And you can use that code to buy 4 tickets. So it's really important to sign up kind of multiple phone numbers, get your friends and family to sign up, and that way you have more access to buy more tickets, or at least, some of them will get selected, because usually, if I have a group of people sign up, usually about like 3 out of 4 people will get it, 1 person won't get selected. So it's important to kind of get signed up for verified fans in order to buy these tickets. A lot of verified fans are higher tier events, so Justin Bieber, so on and so forth. These bigger artists use verified fans to kind of protect their fans, but really it doesn't really change the game for brokers. So like I said, Hamilton, Taylor Swift, Elton John, 21 Pilots, all these artists use verified fans. So to find these verified fan events, you can actually just Google for verified fan. Once you've created these multiple accounts and you've registered your phone numbers, then you'll just get a text and you'll go and be able to buy these tickets. So that's how verified fan events work. Let's move on forward to waiting room events. So for waiting room events, the way they work is that everybody has access right away. You just pull up your computer the day of the pre-sale or on sale, and you open it up. And let's say the event goes on sale at 10 a.m. Eastern time, but the waiting rooms open up at 9:30. You want to log in, get all of your accounts, all of your browsers set up, so you can get into the room and buy tickets by 9:30 a.m. Once the event opens up at 9 a.m., you'll be able to buy tickets almost immediately. So that means you'll be able to select those front row tickets at the lowest prices closest to the stage. If you were to join this waiting room at 9:50, what that does is it puts you in a queue kind of further down the line. So at 10 a.m., the pre-sale opens, everybody starts buying tickets, but you're kind of still waiting for it to be your turn in line to buy tickets. So that's why you want to be there at 9:30. and that way you get access to those best front row seats, and obviously those can be sold for the most amount of money. And then lastly, there's common presale password events. What this is simply there is a password. You can get passwords from a lot of places, like at the artist's Twitter/Facebook pages, presalepassword.info, shows on sale. You can even ask in the ticket flipping Slack room, and someone will have the password for you. But it is the most common type of sale. Simply, the event goes on sale at 10 a.m. You enter in a password, and boom, you have access to all the tickets. So now that we understand about all the various event types, let's kind of cart the tickets and buy some tickets. So carting means kind of adding them to your cart, and then they're kind of secured. And then how do you buy the tickets? So what you want to remember is that you have access to the best value tickets. So you want to buy closest to the artist, pretty much always be as close to the artist as possible for the lowest price as possible. So on an event map, you need to move quickly. You need to select the tickets that you want and click to buy them as quickly as you want. If you see the message, another buyer beat you to these tickets, you simply need to refresh the page and try again. So you need to be doing this on multiple browsers such as Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, and on your phone. This way you'll be able to buy as many tickets as possible and cart them. So first you get to cart the tickets. Hey, these are my cart. You have 7 minutes to buy them. Once they're in your cart, you can go on and continue to try to get tickets on other browsers and maybe get even better seats. So it's really important to move fast. Everybody's in there trying to buy tickets, so you want to click them, add to cart, click them, add to cart, go as fast as you can to get the best seats you can, and that's kind of how to go about it. So remember, if you're buying a lot of tickets for the same event, you can buy no more than 8 tickets on the same card. So you want to use at least multiple credit cards or debit card, credit card, and then also have maybe family or friends if you want to buy a lot more for an event. So you can buy 8 tickets for Seattle, for Chicago, for Texas, but you can't buy more than 8 tickets for one specific city. So keep that in mind. If you want to buy more tickets for one specific city, you need to use other cards and other Ticketmaster accounts in order to keep Ticketmaster from blocking those purchases. So moving forward, what exactly are the best value tickets? We've kind of covered this earlier on, but the way it works is that you have to think like a buyer, like a fan. So like I said, go back to it again and I'll kind of explain. So here, the green is the most valuable and the yellow is the second most valuable. So as we can see here, green, of course, the floors right here are the best tickets you want. Everybody wants to sit up close to their favorite artist, so we kind of have a good idea of what seats to buy. And these sections right here are good, and okay, and then the yellows are the second best. So in this example right here, this yellow one can be really valuable in certain situations, because let's say these tickets right here are going for $150 a piece, but these ones here are going for $90. So let's say this $150 ticket you can sell for $200, but this $90 ticket you can sell for $170. So you're making like $80 more. Here you're making $50 more. And although this one's a little like less desirable in a sense, it's more to the side, it still might be worth more to you because it's cheaper, so the value is higher and people are willing to pay more for that seat than they are willing to pay for this seat. So kind of keep that in mind. If the prices are really different between these two sections, or even these two or these two, if the prices are really different, then maybe these will be better. So if you can get really cheap tickets here, it might be better to do that, and then you can make more money. So the way you want to think about it is like, what can I expect to resell this for? Not so much as like, hey, is this the best ticket possible? So that's kind of something to keep in mind in terms of how to get the best value seats. Okay, so don't worry if you didn't understand all of that. You can go back and rewatch this webinar. It is recorded. There is a lot of different things on how to buy tickets and make money reselling them. So don't worry if you didn't get everything exactly, but we have a lot of information on our training site. We have a premium member course where we cover everything in detail about how to buy the best tickets and make money as a ticket reseller. So that's kind of like the basics of buying, reselling, a lot of the issues, kind of the day-to-day of what you'll be doing and how to make money. So now let's kind of jump into how to simplify this whole process with some tools. So this is a little more advanced. You can follow along or you can kind of skip forward through this. Well, later on I'll cover how much money you can expect to make and give some examples of sales people have made. So There are different tools. There's things called a point of sale, and what that does is it allows you to upload your tickets to one place, and then after you've bought them, you upload them in one place, and instead of selling only on StubHub, it actually lists your tickets automatically for you on StubHub, Vivid Seats, SeatGeek, TickPick, and all these other websites all at once. And when you make a sale on one marketplace, it removes them across the marketplaces so that you don't sell the same ticket twice. That's kind of the basics of what that does, and it can be really useful to kind of because you get more exposure on your tickets and you can sell them faster by being on a point of sale. And we cover that for ticket flipping members in our course. We kind of tell you how to get that set up. It's actually super easy. It's just going to be a little daunting at first. So let's keep moving forward. So how much money can you make with ticket resale? So the concert industry and the ticket resale industry is a multi-million, if not billion-dollar industry in terms of entertainment. Big-time brokers can make anywhere from hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars in profit per year. So that's a lot of money. Of course, most people will not make this much, but you can easily make anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 a month profit depending on how many tickets you buy and resell. So this is what one of our members had to say. He's been with us for I think a year now, and last year in February he hit 2.3K in sales, and then in October of 2019 he did 3,000, and there's still 10 days, so he's probably scheduled to do about $4,000 to $5,000 in his sales in October. And this is a member who's been with us for maybe a year, maybe a little bit less, and does this as a side income. So $3,000 extra a month as a side income is definitely something nice. A lot of people could benefit from that. So that's kind of something that we have, and is an example of what you can expect to make. So moving forward, I'll give you kind of like some rough estimates about how much money you can make, just so you have a really accurate idea. So like I said, how much money you make really depends on how many tickets you buy or resell. On average, you want to come out around 30 to 50% in profit of what you paid. So let's say you buy $1,000 worth of tickets. At the end of the day, you want to take back 1,300 or 1,500 after fees, after all the expenses. That's kind of what you want to take back. And if you average around 30 to 50%, even 20 to 50% is really, really good. The bigger brokers, of course, have smaller margins because they're buying so many more tickets, so 20 to 30% for them. But if you're only doing, about $5,000 to $10,000 a month in resale, you want to do anywhere between 30 to 50% profit. So that's kind of how it breaks down. This is the average. This is what you can expect. These are very, good numbers. And even still, 30 to 50% is a lot higher per month on your money than pretty much any other industry. If you really think about it, what's going to pay you 50% on your money? There's no stock, there's no cryptocurrency that's going to pay you 30 to 50% consistently if you just buy and resell the right tickets. So that's what you can expect to make, and it's very likely that that's going to be your case for you if you do decide to become a ticket broker. So these are two resale case study examples that we have put together. We want to give you an example of it. So let's say you have season tickets to a baseball team that clutches the game and makes it to the next round, and now those $6 tickets could be $100 plus. So you can see how big of a margin you can make on some events, 1,000 times pretty much. So a $6 ticket selling for $100, that's a pretty big increase on what you can. So if you have like 50 tickets at $6, you sell them for 100 each. That's a lot of money. That's like $50,000. So it's a big deal. You can make a lot of money with season tickets in sports based on teams that clutch. So obviously your season tickets won't always do that well, but this is an example of a really good resale example. So the next one is, let's say you have tickets to see Billie Eilish before her newest album was released, and then she became the #1 played song on Spotify for a few months. Now that $50 ticket in a theater of about 3,000 people, that ticket can now go for $250. So that's 4 or 5 times more what you paid for it at $250. So if you have 8 tickets at $50 and you sell them for $250, you do the math on that and see how much money you can make on just 8 tickets. So those are 2 really good examples. I hope you learned a little bit about ticket resale. I hope we covered a lot in this booklet, in this webinar. There's a lot of different ways to make money online, but if you are already well on your way to making money as a ticket broker, having this information, currently there are 500 members on ticket flipping making money doing exactly what I just explained. You'll actually have access to this PDF along with the webinar if you need to go back and rewatch things. So it's really easy to kind of do this on your own, but if you want to learn how to make money buying and reselling tickets, don't struggle to figure out everything on your own. We've kind of compiled this to give you a rough, approximation of everything that's included as a ticket broker and what you have to do. So what I encourage you to do is become a member of ticketflipping.com, and where we explain all the different ways to make money and kind of get you started with all these tools and also give you event recommendations. So if you do decide to become a member of Ticket Reselling and you think that reselling tickets is for you, then visit ticketflipping.com today. We'll have a link below this video where you can just click to sign up. We provide in-depth training videos, premium member group chat, advanced tools for getting an idea of how many tickets are left, and also daily event recommendations, or what we call them market predictions, where we recommend events to buy that we know will do well. And that's a really easy place to get started, especially if you're new. So thanks for watching this webinar, and we hope to see you on the Ticket Flipping members group chat shortly. Thanks for watching this video, and if you have any questions, send us an email and we'll be more than happy to answer them for you.